Does every time you try to communicate with your spouse end up being another expose on how selfish and immature and unforgiving you are? Hi, I'm Sharmen from the Marriage Recovery Center, and I want to talk to you for just a few moments about what it means to communicate well. I do not believe for an instant that communication problems are what has caused the issues in your marriage. However, I do believe that it is impossible to resolve the issues unless you know how to communicate. One of the questions that we like to ask is, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being never and 10 being always, how confident are you that you can approach your spouse about something that pertains to them and know that they will listen, they will seek to understand, and that they will seek a resolution that actually keeps the relationship connected? Most of the people that come to see us say, "Can I answer that -100?" Because the reality is they feel like they can never have a conversation that doesn't lead to some sort of fight. So I want to give you just a few key tips to help keep a conversation open so that there is a real possibility for you to really resolve things so that your marriage isn't so broken and strained all of the time, and hopefully to keep you from fighting. So the first rule of thumb is to speak for yourself and to not let your spouse speak for you. And by that I mean when you start saying things in such a way that you are telling your spouse what they're thinking, what they're feeling, ascribing motives to them, then that immediately starts a fight. Your feelings, your motivation, your thoughts about things, how you feel today, which is probably different than how you felt yesterday, like that's all your own. And the second someone says you're this and you're that, like everything in you wants to rise up and defend yourself, which puts you right in the middle of a fight, a courtroom. Now you have a prosecutor, you have a defender, there's going to be a judgment somewhere. None of it goes down well. So learn to speak for yourself and not to allow your spouse to speak for you, and don't take that on as an invitation to a fight. Never assume that you know. So we like to fill in the blanks with what we think we know about our spouse, what we think we see, which is, of course, based on our own perspective, which is informed by history. However, you have got to quit assuming that just because they did something or thought something or said something aloud yesterday, that means they're absolutely going to do, say, believe the same thing today. So one of the slogans that I teach is to make the unspoken spoken. Rather than assume and fill in the blanks with all kinds of threatening thoughts and suspicion, ask, what did you mean by that? When you said da 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 da, can you tell me what you really meant, because I don't think I understand? Or, can you tell me what happened there? Those kinds of things that invite your spouse to explain in such a way that it's gathering more information. It's a curious conversation, not a fight, not giving you something to argue with, just helping you not fill in the blanks with suspicion. Talk about what you feel, what you need to feel, and make a specific positive request. So when we teach this, we make sure that we say, when you name what you feel, don't use like or that in the sentence, because whatever comes after that usually starts with you. I feel like you, or I feel that you, which immediately makes it an accusation and not a feeling word. So be very careful to put feeling words in there, because that's going to keep it from being an accusation. Even if what you have to say to them is true, it's still an accusation, and it will still not be well received. Our goal is to keep conversation open, keep it going, so work really hard to say, I feel unloved, I want to feel loved, and then a specific positive request. If you could just take 5 minutes when you got home from work and check in with me and just see how the day went and tell me about your day, that would be huge in helping me feel loved. That goes over much better than saying, "You never love me." You come straight home from work, you go straight to the couch, I don't see you, you hardly acknowledge that I'm here. It's just ugly. So while that might be true, it isn't going to keep the conversation open. Immediately, he's going to get defensive, you're just going to have a fight, and you're not going to get anything resolved. But when you make the request, if you could, if we could do this, let's think about this, it's framing things in a perspective of, so what would we like to see happen next? Where can we go from here? What is something we can do to add value to our life, our marriage, rather than just barreling through, hurling accusations at each other? The other really important part is to stay grounded. Like, stay congruent with the person you know you want to be. Calm, thoughtful, caring, loving. Like, stay grounded in that so that you can think in the conversation and make clearer responses that aren't going to start a fight. That just helps you to know how to respond better in a way that keeps the conversation open and curious, rather than immediately closing it down because you didn't like what was being said, or you didn't feel protected, or whatever it is that moves you into self-protective mode. Stay grounded so that you can stay in the conversation and actually find some resolution. Something that's really important to think about is most of the time we use words as our self-protective shield. We say the things we say in such a way meant to protect ourselves. And when we're so busy protecting ourselves, we're actually disabling any real connection, because nothing gets behind the shield. No connection happens behind the shield. So when you can learn to talk in a way that you keep the conversation open, it actually helps eliminate the shield so that you really can connect. And at the end of the day, connection is what you're looking for. If you want more help actually practicing how to communicate in a way that's helpful and curious and open and authentic, we would love to help. So give us a call or check out our website at marriagerecoverycenter.com.